Lyle is going to yell at them.
Oh, you guys again. Thought you were out for the day.
And I thought I punched your tooth out and taught you a lesson.
You are bringing down buildings. You're going to hurt more people than you probably were wanting to. You're doing more damage than help. You need to stop.
You don't get it. They're supposed to be here for us, but they aren't. Hypertide hasn't been here in months.
Well, then be here for the other kids. Don't care about the adults. You're hurting other kids just like you.
Hand over the gloves and the backpack. This fight is over.
No, we aren't just giving up like that.
He lunges at the backpack.
Bree steps between them.
The two look at each other, and Third Strike's like, I told you that if this went wrong, we wouldn't make it out of here. And she grabs Seeing Red's hand, and they're gonna try to absolve guilty by ending each other.
Oh my god!
No!
This is the program you've been working on, and this is the result? These two were terrified. They felt like they had to try to get Hypertide and cause all this damage. For what? For 3 strikes? We're kids. We're kids. We make mistakes.
Lyle takes off his pager and he tosses it at Miss Shepherd.
Wait, Nari, Lyle, do you guys want to be in the new program? Please say yes. Give me to the end of the week to convince you.
Hi. Is Kirby home?
He might be.
I just wanted to make sure that they were okay.
It's Friday again. It's a bright morning, and the scare from Wednesday has passed. There's more construction than usual, but companies are making the most of their insurance returns to improve their buildings in the process. Buses are running extra lines, and traffic around the community center is rather low today. So, Bree and Nari, I believe, you two are going to drop by?
Mm-hmm.
Nari is going to drop by, see if they have papers, and if they don't, she's leaving.
Bree is sitting at their normal table, just sad.
Sad.
Yeah.
Mood.
Just kind of staring at the table.
Well, because Friday is an event day, there's not really a roll call.
Mm-hmm.
So are you just waiting for Nari to show up?
Yeah.
Nari's gonna come through the door, and she looks like she is on a mission. Her strides are very stiff, her shoulders are set back. This is not the, she doesn't look as relaxed as she normally does. This is like, I have business, get out of my way. It's a murder strut, but no murder at the end.
It's the business strut.
Yes.
Keep in mind, one wall is caved in.
Mm-hmm. She's just gonna keep going to Miss Shepherd's office.
Alright. Bree, do you join her?
Yeah, I think Bree sees Nari walk in and just walks straight to the office, and she kind of perks up a little, but follows up after.
She sees this tiny little lady making her way, and she's mad.
Yeah, that's why she's following and not saying anything.
Yep. Miss Shepherd is waiting patiently for you guys in her office, and when she sees you enter, she kind of reaches over and pulls out some paperwork and sets it on the desk.
Alright.
And she waits to see if you guys are going to say anything first.
Nari's not going to. She's straight up just going to be picking it up and going through it.
Alright.
Bree wasn't there, so I think she's just gonna be like, what is this?
Miss Shepherd kind of sighs, and she's like, let me explain a little bit about the origins of Youthsea. There have been 4 generations of superheroes so far. We all know this. No one knew what to do about it when they first started popping up. The first generation was often worshipped, maybe a little bit too much for its heroes. The Silver generation, they were just trying to find their place in the limelight. The third generation we started to realize this was going to keep going. Now, you guys, as the 4th generation, kind of have to suffer with this stigma that everyone's developed against powers. Your powers aren't really seen as gifts anymore, just nuisances that, I guess, get in the way. They make things a lot more complicated in daily life. Hypertide managed to make his name because he was from the Bronze generation, and the media loved Hypertide. He was probably on every kid's TV while they were growing up. He defeated every large villain in town, and things were going peacefully here in Lucky Heights. We didn't need any sort of youth program. But when Hypertide joined the CCWP and left the city, no one had their hero to look up to anymore, and I think that's where the problem started. He put the Youth in charge keeping the city safe, so the program has probably been going for about half a year now, but obviously it hasn't been successful. So, this paperwork is for you guys to be the first in the new program, the Ruminants. All the paperwork has been approved. It's a new experimental process of bureaucracy. We want people with powers to willingly sign up, not to feel like they're forced to from threat of prison or anything like that. The name Ruminants means someone who meditates and thinks thoroughly. That's our goal with this. We want to be more purposeful with what we do here.
Yeah, because we got the short end of the stick, and we're dealing with the bullshit, and you saw what happened. And
I'm very sorry about that.
And Nari hasn't even looked up at Mr. Shepard. She is going through the papers. She's making sure she is reading, like it's the thing, like, don't sign until you've read every single thing. That is what Nari is
Oh, thank
doing.
goodness. I was so afraid you guys were just going to sign. I was like, I wanted to yell, please look over the paperwork. But I wasn't there.
No, Nari, she was pissed. She was ready to leave, too.
Yeah.
So,
Thank goodness.
Nari is doing it.
Bree, skims over the papers a little and looks back up at Miss Shepherd, and she's like, and you think this will work?
The program will include accommodations and other incentives for people with powers to help get rid of the stigma around it. And hopefully that means people will be more willing to provide information about their powers rather than see it as something they have to hide. This way, there will be fewer surprises when people show up. We'll know who has powers and who doesn't. And hopefully it will allow people to do good without there being any misunderstandings in the future. The hero work is optional for the program. People can go through the program and not have to associate with law enforcement, but the paperwork is for that hero work. It describes your powers, your mental health. There's a couple disclaimers of privacy, so we can't tell your parents if you want to keep your identity secret. There's some forms of release of information to the media and to the police so they know who you are when you show up on the scene. If you guys want to take those with you, there's a couple copies in there for Timberwolf. If you turn it back to me and by the end of the day, I can take you guys in for interviews on Monday and have you officially signed up.
Sounds good.
I'll take a copy, and we'll talk it over.
Wait, am I going to be taking a copy to Kirby in this?
No.
Okay.
It's just for your team.
Okay.
Thank you for thinking of me, though.
I'm just trying to include you.
Nari wants to talk this out because we just saw they've been dealing with crap one, and both Timberwolf and Mirage are very upset with the system enough that Timberwolf yeeted off, and Nari is ready to yeet off if she doesn't think the program's good, so she wants to talk it out.
Yeah.
But with her team, she doesn't want Miss Shepard there. No, it's just Team Phoenix.
Right. Miss Shepard kind of leans back and looks at the wall, which has a visible crack in it. It's not broken down, but it's got a crack from the other room. And she's like, I'm not gonna force you guys to go to the event today. You three can have the day off. But if you're interested, the event today, some of the kids are cleaning up the damage, but we're also going to use it as an opportunity to rebuild. We're painting a mural, and the community center is going to put it in a pool and a tennis court. So once the Youth Sea is disbanded, the center will be open to the public again.
That sounds great.
All right.
I hope you three have a good weekend.
Thanks, Miss Shepherd.
And Nari goes, have a good weekend yourself. Because Nari is still nice and she knows Miss Shepherd's doing her job. She just thinks the program's shit.
You can't help but be polite, even though you're like really mad. You're just like, you also have a good day.
That's
Oh,
literally
that's so relatable.
That's Nari to a T. She's
I mean, you're like, it's not like you're gonna flip off the secretary for something the boss is doing.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Don't shoot the
100%.
messenger.
Yeah, exactly. For Nari, it's not a shoot the messenger. Like, no, it's she's pissed, but it's at the system. Miss Shepherd's doing her job.
She's out here doing her best. Gosh darn it.
yes.
Exactly. So that's why Nari says, have a good day, and then she's out.
All right, and that's literally all I have written. So
All right.
everything else from here on is going to be y'all with me doing some stuff.
Okay. Nari's gonna pull up her phone, and I'm gonna say she's been, maybe trying to talk to Timberwolf, not like constantly blowing up his phone, but like occasionally, like, hey, how you doing? Hey, you're somewhere safe, like, because she doesn't know that he just went on to his mom, like.
How
again.
is it the next day?
It's Friday. It's been 2 days.
Okay. Then you've definitely gotten responses, I think, Nari.
Okay.
He's sent back texts saying, like, I am okay. I went back to my mom's house. We are talking with Quip.
All right, so she's gonna take a deep breath, and she goes, I need to go get Lyle, and he is with his mom, meaning different city.
It's the next city over. It's not too far away.
No, yeah, but she can't drive.
Do you guys want to check on Kirby to see if he's all right, or they're all right?
That's what I think Bree was gonna do.
Yeah, all right.
Bree's like, hey, do you mind going alone? I really,
I get it.
I want to go check on Kirby.
Yeah, and I don't want to sound like bearer of bad news, but you and Lyle kind of butt heads a bit.
Yeah, I feel like me being there would not contribute to the situation. So, see you later.
Yeah, I will text you the updates of what's going down.
Thanks. I'll keep you updated on how Kirby and I are doing too.
And tell Kirby I said hi.
I will.
Come hang out with me, you coward.
No,
Come meet my mom.
I'm fine with meeting your mom.
Do we want to do Kirby and Bree first, just in case Bree goes to meet up with?
Yeah.
All right.
Come hang out with me.
Yeah. I mean, Bree knows where Kirby lives, so.
It's true.
Yeah.
And if we do decide to go over, we could probably catch up to Nari on
Yeah.
Kirby's cycle.
Spaceship.
Yeah.
All right, so Bree goes over to Kirby's house, and I think he texts them on the way there. Just, hey, mind if I drop by, check on you?
And I think that, like, okay, so I feel like Kirby probably...
I think she follows that up with Nari's going to see Timberwolf, so ...
So Kirby probably wouldn't have responded to anything for the past couple days, just because, like, well, I feel like Kirby would be honestly spending this time just working on stuff, trying to get their mind distracted. And so they've just like been building in their house and stuff. But Kirby is gonna respond to this one being like, okay, and that's it.
All right. Bree, that actually kind of gives Bree a little hope. She perks up a little at that. And she goes over to Kirby's house and she knocks on the door.
Yeah, and
And
the
suddenly
door
you're there.
the door is opened by Kirby's aunt. And do we have a name?
We haven't named that aunt.
And then now every aunt name that I have in my head are all either like Aunt Josephine
Karen.
from Series of Unfortunate Events or Aunt May from Spider-Man. So I'm just like, I can't think of an aunt name.
Okay,
Just call her Auntie.
Auntie.
I mean, yeah.
I'll call her Aunt Josephine.
Yes, good reference.
She opens the door and she's like, "Oh, you again. Does Kirby know you're coming?"
Yeah, actually, I texted him.
Oh, all right.
Um,
Where is Kirby right now? In the garage?
Yeah, in the garage.
They're in the garage. Do you want to come on in? There's a door in the kitchen.
If that would be great. Okay, yeah.
She kind of lets you in.
Yeah, Bree comes in.
Cool.
It's a nice house. There's lots of tech stuff, and it's not even like high tech stuff. It's just a lot of disassembled tech stuff around
There's like
the house.
20 toasters.
It's always the toaster.
It's the only tech that Kirby knows how to build things out of.
I feel like there would also be some like smoke detectors and stuff because there's a little bit of radioactive stuff in there, and Kirby probably
Smoke
would know how to
detectors.
mess with that.
But there's also some alien tech there, just from Kirby's parents and stuff. Because Kirby can always call their family and get tech.
Be
Jinkies.
like, sup?
Mom, Dad, I need you to buy this for me.
But also Kirby's uncle is an alien, or aunt. Which one?
Yeah.
Oh, it is the uncle.
The uncle. Yeah, Kirby's uncle is an alien, so he's also working with alien tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bree's just looking around at all this, like, huh. All right then. And she looks around trying to see if she can spot Kirby, and she's like, so, where are they anyway?
In the garage.
Oh. Can I go in there?
She already said Kirby's in the garage.
I-
Take the door in the kitchen.
Okay, I missed that. I thought
Okay,
just saying something else.
okay, but
Quality
also
audio right here.
for personal experience, I personally will make sure and be like, I can go in there, right? Like even if I've been told. If it's not my
Yeah.
house,
Sure.
it's
Oh yeah,
theirs.
same. I feel like I'm part vampire because A, I've got very large canines, and B, because I always sit there at people's door being like, they'll be like, "Come on in." And I'll just like awkwardly walk
Is that
in, just being like,
permission?
"Okay."
Yeah, she
Yeah.
kind of leads you into the kitchen and she starts pulling down some cups. She's like, "You want some water?"
No, thank you. I'm good. Thanks though.
And she kind of waves to the door.
All right. Bree, opens it a little, and like as she opens it, she knocks just to make sure that she doesn't startle Kirby.
And Kirby is focused, like, I don't know. I feel like Kirby would
Hyper focused.
would be super hyper focused on what they're doing, but they've got 3 different projects going on right now. Like there are 3 different areas Kirby keeps floating over to and then just messing with stuff for a little bit and like using their heliokinesis to like weld things together and just kind of like throws things in the air, ties it to the ceiling, and then just kind of flies over, puts stuff underneath and stuff. So yeah, Kirby's just like super hyper focused on what they're doing, and they don't notice you whatsoever unless you.
Is there a chair somewhere around?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not the DM, but I want to say yeah, it would make sense.
I mean, it is your garage. So Bree sits in the chair, making sure that it's not like in the way of anything Kirby's working on, and kind of says, So, what you working on?
And Kirby just gets startled and stuff and is like,
No.
When did you come in?
I knocked.
Oh, sorry. And Kirby just kind of floats down, and like for the first time you've ever seen Kirby do this, Kirby actually lands on the ground and stuff and just sits down. And she's like, do you like it? And just points at the stuff. Flashback moment.
Oh.
If that's chill.
Yeah.
So we see a different planet completely, and we just see in one of the alleyways of this planet, it's just a huge planet that's bustling with life and just vehicles hovering all over the place. And lots of like big looming buildings with large bright lights all over them. And we see in one of the alleyways with a big flickering light, we see two young individuals just floating along. And yeah, Kirby shouts out to the person in front of them saying, "Hey, where are we going?" And the other person just shouts back, "Oh, no, nothing. It's just something really cool I found. Yeah, just come on, follow me." And just zooms around another corner, and Kirby follows them suit. And until finally we see a garage. It's a very crudely, like, you know, it's got like bits of stuff all over the place, bits of alien tech. And we see this beautiful like vehicle that actually looks kind of similar to Kirby's vehicle, except it's a lot nicer. It's like it makes Kirby's vehicle look like a lemon, just a really bad car in comparison to this, where this looks like a Ferrari or something really expensive and really nice. And Kirby is just like shocked. It's like, holy cow. And the friend's just like, yeah, I just found this and stuff. Well, I bought it from a friend. He just had it for super cheap. Yeah, do you want to give it for a ride and stuff? Yeah, I've been working on the engine, and it's been like crazy. This thing has been like acting weird, but I think I got all the kinks worked out. And Kirby's just like, sure. And for a second, Kirby hesitates and feels like there's something wrong with this. But Kirby trusts that person because that is Kirby's best friend, the person that they trust more than anyone else in the world, more than their family members, more than their parents. And so Kirby gets in, and their friend just shouts out, "Hey, just give it a little test drive and stuff. See how it runs. And yeah, I'll just come back over here in a minute, okay?" And then Kirby's like, "Okay, sounds good." Kirby starts driving off, and this thing drives better than anything Kirby has ever driven before. It goes so fast and is the coolest thing until Kirby starts hearing a beeping sound. Kirby presses the brakes, but nothing happens, and the beeping just keeps continuing and getting louder and louder. Kirby goes to open up the door, but it's locked. And Kirby looks around and notices that there is a bomb in there and is freaking out. And Kirby just, with all their might, just pounds on the window on the sides until they finally break out. They fall out of the place, but they're flying still, so they're fine. But they just watch it zoom by and explode a couple seconds later. And this just kind of devastates Kirby. Like, completely. They trusted this person. And they flash back to earlier when they were going through their parents' company, and they were just like seeing a tour of the company for the first time. And they just walked past and saw that friend was there working at the company, and just gave them a glare. And Kirby also sees a pink slip on that person's desk as they're packing up their stuff. And that's it.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Okay, so we tried to murder him because it was the boss's son.
Oof.
Oh, man.
And they got fired. Yeah. Sorry to make a dark backstory.
Hey, this is our teen drama season, so feel
yeah,
free.
Be good.
Okay, that's fair.
Superheroes always gotta have dark pasts.
So if you want to know the rest of the backstory, so basically, Kirby's parents were they worked for this bit. They were child prodigies and stuff. They were super smart and stuff, and they were super well known across the entire city. And so this made it, and they were so dedicated to the work that this made it so that they didn't really focus on Kirby, and they kind of shut Kirby up in a tower and stuff to not really interact with other people. So they kind of just got shut up in the tower and stuff for most of their life until they found a friend, and that friend was their best friend for the longest time. And yeah, and they would like hung out all the time, and Kirby would just sneak out of the tower basically to go see them and stuff. And then until that happened, where they went to the office and stuff, and their friend found out that Kirby's parents were their boss, and they had just been fired. I added in the fired bit because I was thinking about it. I was like, just the fact that they were their boss doesn't seem like good enough. So yeah, they just got fired and stuff, and so they stopped talking to Kirby for a while. And Kirby got really scared about that until one day they reached out, and then all that other stuff happened. So yeah, and also that car, by the way, was Kirby's dad's car.
No.
So yeah, I forgot. I didn't know how to, while I was like improving that, I didn't know how to include that bit. But yeah, so afterwards they just kind of, their parents concluded that they need to keep a better eye on Kirby. They need someone to keep a better eye on Kirby than they were. So they knew that their aunt and uncle.
They sent them to another planet?
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
They're quality parents.
I was gonna say great parenting. Wow.
Yeah.
They're like, we can't keep an eye on them. Hey, can you guys keep an eye on them? You have 3 kids already. Can't be that much harder having a 4th.
Yeah.
And then they patted themselves on the back and called it good.
Yep. Pretty bad parenting.
Yoink.
I liked that. I liked the short flashback and then the summary afterwards. That was nice.
Thank you.
Because that flashback, I was really getting into that.
Okay, I'm good. I'm glad. I love storytelling so much. It's so great. That's why I love DMing. But I love even more like being the player and having the freedom to do that. So thank you very much.
All right, where were we?
So yeah, Kirby just kind of spaced out for a second in the garage.
Real time. 20 minutes just staring into space.
Oh, no.
What exactly is Bree looking at anyway?
I think I don't know if it would even look like anything that could. Probably just bits of. It looks like bits of toaster.
And I feel like Kirby's Kirby Craft would be close by. Oh yeah, by the way, Kirby's named after their parents' company. So
Oh, no.
That's rough.
Garbage.
Baby!
But yeah, Kirby's Kirby Craft is close by, and it just seems like, I feel like it would just look like bits of alien tech that was made out of human stuff, like toasters and bits of the fire extinguishers or fire alarms,
Whatever they're called, smoke detectors.
There you go.
So Bree looks around at everything, trying to come up with words, and she's having a hard time, just like, well, I don't understand, but it looks so intricate.
Kirby flies up and grabs the thing on the ceiling. All right, well, this makes it so that when the vehicle is going fast, it won't wobble as much, and
you can tell that Kirby keeps on trying to say words and stuff, but then doesn't quite.
Then stops themselves. They're like, I don't know if the human word for this, but so then they they say like wobble and stuff. But yeah, but they're just like, yeah, it's just working on my Kirby Craft. It's just kind of my project that I kind of always.
That's really cool.
Thank you. Anyway, yeah, I'm sorry about not responding or anything.
Hey, that's fine. I totally get it. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't going to do anything reckless or something like that. Wanted to make sure you were okay.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. And Kirby smiles and is like, actually, genuinely, like, it's the most true smile you've ever seen out of Kirby.
My heart.
I mean, not that any of the other ones have been fake smiles and stuff, but they feel appreciated.
Bree kind of sighs and leans back in the chair, and she's just like, yeah, if I'm being honest with myself, I'm also here to kind of stay away from everything else too.
Yeah. We all kind of need to get away for a bit, but
yeah, is there any reason why you came over besides just kind of getting away from everything else? I mean, I totally get that, but...
Well, obviously, like I said, I wanted to check on you. You're a friend, and I don't want you to hurt yourself or anything. So, I'm glad to see you're doing okay.
Yeah, just... I don't think I'm gonna go back to the UC place though.
That's fair. They're actually closing it down. They're trying to do something else that I think it's gonna work better. I have papers from it. I don't really understand all the nuances of it, I guess. But Miss Shepherd seems to vote. She seems to vote for it, and I trust her. I think I am gonna have to go back to the team, though, sometime. And I guess I was hoping that you would come with me.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I'm just gonna be sitting around working on this otherwise. Might as well do something. But
I know it's asking a lot, considering what happened on Wednesday.
But it's not your fault. I don't blame you for a second. Yeah, I'll come.
Thanks. I'm kind of terrified.
What are you scared of? What is it?
Honestly, Lyle. A lot has happened, and we've gotten off on the wrong track. And I don't want to be on the wrong track, but just everything we do seems to be wrong for each other. And I'm scared to see him again. I know he's mad at me, and I'm mad at him, honestly, but also I want to put that aside, but I don't know if he will.
well, if there's one thing I've learned from your guys' team, is that you guys might have moments where you argue and fight, but in the end, you guys are really great friends, and it's just kind of something that I don't get to see very often, but it's really cool. And I hope that friendship gets to stay.
I do too. Thanks, Kirby. Maybe if you hold my hand, I can look him in the face.
And it's like, should we meet up the rest of your team?
Probably.
All right. Well, I kind of wanted to test out new stuff on this, so.
Hell yeah.
All right, sweet.
Walk me through it. Let's do this.
All right, sweet. And yeah, I think we're just gonna head over. But yeah.
There's probably like a few quirks and bumps along the way.
Oh yeah. So, yeah.
I imagine the entire way he's like telling Bree to do stuff, and he's got his hand. They've got their hands on the wheel and just like, Bree, go do this thing. Like the entire thing swerves a little and just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Kirby would probably be very patient, but also scared to death.
Bree's having the time of her life. She's just, yes!
Oh.
Nice. So you guys are catching up with Nari then?
Yeah.
We're gonna try to at least.
All right.
I think Bree's just like, Nari took this road when I last saw her, so let's go down that way, see if we can find her.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, Nari, how are you getting to the other city? Are you taking like a bus or?
I was generally just thinking she's taking the frickin' bus.
Nari walks.
No!
Nari walks the whole way.
Well, I mean, you could also take a Lyft or call a taxi.
We've
or
established
maybe have
there's a
friend
train
car.
The
station.
Uber.
Yeah, a train. Like, what's your mode of transport?
What's the cheapest one? Keep in mind, Nari is college.
Probably train. Train.
She
Probably.
broke. So yeah, she's taking the train.
All right. Do we want to have Nari's flashback while she's on the train? Just staring out the window or something?
Yeah, okay. So it's a normal day in Lucky Heights, and the quarter has just begun for Nari. It's the second quarter of her first year, and things are going pretty good. It's like she's gotten settled in with the apartment with her best friend Ari, and her parents trust her enough that they occasionally only text once or twice a day. She's gotten it down to having them call her every night. So it's doing good. And as she's going in, I imagine that it's someone tells her, keep in mind this is like towards the beginning of the quarter, that, oh, did you hear about the paper we were supposed to write? And poor Nari, this anxiety-ridden baby, she starts getting anxiety attacks. She's always been a straight A student, and all of a sudden she's already going to fail her class, and it hasn't even been like 3 weeks. So everything seems to be she's getting tunnel vision, and people are trying to ask, are you okay? Are you okay? And she's just trying to catch her breath. And next thing she hears is screaming, and things are coming around her, and she feels the ground shaking. And when someone pulls her out and shakes her out of it, and when she looks around, half of the building has been toppled down. There's the fire department. There are sirens going around, and she's crying because she's been working on her powers with Ari, but it's never gotten this bad before, ever. And she's shaking, and people are shouting at her. They're pointing at her, and she's just hearing the word freak over and over and over.
No.
And that's the end of it. That is why she doesn't like the word freak.
Poor Nari, oh my gosh.
So, yeah, Nari, you get off the train at the train station in, I forgot the name of the city. Give me a second.
The city is East Centerford.
East Centerford? That is glorious.
If you think that's great, his older sister, Silver Bullet, works at Northeast Centerford.
Oh no.
We have so many city names, and those were just the select few.
That's great.
Yeah, Lucky Heights is one of the better names that we came up with.
It's a dumb goof, but I'm so proud of it. So very proud of it.
One of the contestants was Strawberry Berry.
Nice.
That was
I like that one.
Or how about Bird's Lookout, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or the one that's just called Pine. Anyways.
Okay, back to it. And my question is now, does Nari actually know where Lyle lives?
Does she?
I don't think so. So I think
Do
she
you
should
text
leave
and
that one.
ask?
I mean, she probably does, but like she's like, hey, I'm in East
I'm in
Centerford.
town, no reason.
Hey, I was just in the neighborhood. I was wondering if you were free. I thought it'd be fun if we could hang
That's
out.
literally like that's how she's phrasing it.
Super cash. Okay. Yeah, he sends you a link to like Google Maps, and there's his address.
Here's the Bat Cave.
No, it's a normal house.
So she's gonna like make her way up there, and then she's okay. What does the house look like? I want to know.
It's actually pretty big. It's not a mansion by any means, but this is clearly a house that took like some money to get in a pretty nice part of town. The lawn is very well taken care of. It has these immaculate hedges that are clearly carefully trimmed every day. And it looks like this town is a lot like Gotham, I think. Just, I can't separate it from like the Batman mythos. So I imagine it's a pretty intense place. But then just this area looks idyllic and sunny and just gorgeous and beautiful.
Ah, man, okay. That's not intimidating to Nari at all, as she takes a deep breath and strolls up on the path to the door and rings the doorbell.
Okay, after a minute, the door is answered and it's opened, and it's an adult woman. She looks like she's in her 40s or late 30s, maybe. She is just absolutely gorgeous. That's like literally one of her powers is godlike beauty. So she's just a very beautiful woman. She has very short black hair that's been like put up into a almost a pixie cut, I think. She's wearing like a striped button-up shirt and like pants and a belt. She looks almost like she would be a detective or like maybe a professor of some sort. And she opens the door and she's like, "Oh, come on in. Lyle told me a friend would be swinging by." And she smiles at you and she like gestures at you to come in.
Nari comes in. She goes, "Hi, I'm Nari. I met Lyle while he was in Lucky Heights."
She smiles at you and extends her hand, and she goes, "I don't know if I need an introduction."
And she's just like, I mean, she's just this awkward little 19-year-old. She's like, guess she doesn't want to be wrong if it's not his mom. Because it's the thing is that from personal experience, with a mom that looks younger, people often mistake my mom as my sister. And if you describe her as really pretty, Nari's not completely sure if it's the sister or the mom.
Well, you looked into Lyle's head and you saw a mental image of Laura that one time, so you know this isn't Laura.
Okay,
But it could be another sister.
pretty lady makes Nari's mind shut down.
Hey Mark Experience audience, and welcome to the end credits. Thank you so much for listening to our show. If you want to see MXP art and laugh at the dumb jokes we make about our own show, you can find us on Tumblr at tumblr.com/blog/markexperience. If you like the music, you can buy it all at markexperience.bandcamp.com. And we also have merch at redbubble/people/mark-experience, where you can buy posters and shirts and stickers. If you want to donate so that we can create more content, you can head over to our Ko-fi account at ko-fi.com/Jamie Remy. That's spelled JAMIEREMY. That's my name. You can find this podcast on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher, so listen wherever is easiest. Have fun browsing, and we'll see you next time.